present Kenneth Williams, Clement Freud and Geraldine Jones in Just a Minute. And as the minute waltz fades away, here to tell you about it is Nicholas Parson.
Hello again and welcome once more to Just a Minute. The game, as a lot of you will probably remember, is a very simple one. I'm going to give these three members of the panel some unlikely subjects which they know nothing about and ask them to speak for just a minute without hesitation, without repetition, and without deviation. And if any of the other two, either of the other two, I should say, think that they are guilty of one of these crimes, they may challenge by pressing a buzzer, and if I uphold their challenge, they will gain a point, and if the challenge goes against them, the person who's speaking will gain a point. I think the rest of the game will become clear as we play it, so let us start straight off with the person who's played it a bit before and knows quite a lot about it, Clement Freud. The subject is learning to fly, Clement. Would you like to try and talk for just a minute, starting now?
One would have thought that when you learn to fly, you need a plane, but this is utterly untrue. You need a blackboard and a man with a white shirt and gold stripes on his shoulders who has a pointer and draws...
Well, I challenge that. I don't see what the men with gold rings has got to do with flying. I mean, disgrace, it's deviation, isn't it? He was deviating. I could see him deviating. Eyes were deviating, too.
Kenneth, you are pressing your point very, very strongly.
Thank you.
But even though you're new to the show, I'm afraid I can't uphold it. I've seen men with rings round their arms connected with flying. In fact, all flying officers have got them. So I uphold Clement Freud. You needn't look so shocked. You needn't look so shocked. I know you keep all your best expressions for radio, but... Clement Freud, you have another point. You have 45 seconds for learning to fly, starting now.
Onto this blackboard, he draws things that look like fillets of place, but are in fact aeroplane wings, and he explains that pressure on these wings causes the plane to rise or lower. And after 2 or 3 days, happily spent in a classroom, you approach for the first time the aeroplane which they are going to teach you to fly. The plane has to be inspected, so you walk round, pulling at things, kicking at wheels, making quite sure that the undercarriage is secure.
Geraldine Jones, why do you challenge?
Deviation. This is an inspection of an aeroplane, not a lesson.
A very clever challenge. You have gained yourself a point? Don't give out many points, but for you, Geraldine, I would give a point. But actually, in the game, I can only give points, and you have gained one, and you also have the subject now with 14 seconds to go, learning to fly, starting now.
I spent 4 very happy years learning to fly between the ages of 5 and 9. It was my ambition then not to fly by the base means of an aeroplane, but to fly by spreading out my
Clement
wings.
Freud, you've challenged. Why?
Repetition, 4 flies.
There were definitely 4 flies on Geraldine's speech. And before we go any further on that subject, Clement Freud, I give it the subject back to you of learning to fly with only 3.5 seconds left, starting now.
The teacher says, take this power lever in your left hand and grip
The buzzer goes. And as the bell went, when Clement Freud was speaking, he gains another point. Geraldine, it's your turn to start. A lovely subject for a lady, beans. Have a little thought about beans as you're new to the game, and start talking for just a minute if you can, now.
I detest beans in any shape or form, though I have to confess that Clement Freud has never prepared them for me. He hasn't even as much as thrown a recipe for them in a colour supplement. I think that beans are not only a tasteless and unappetizing vegetable, they're a terribly confusing vegetable as well, because they come by lots and lots of different names. A cabbage is a cabbage is a cabbage, but a...
Clement Freud.
repetition.
You do see when you play the game a bit, you spot them very quickly. Clement Freud, you've gained another point, and Geraldine, you appear to have challenged yourself. Could you take your finger off the book?
I just wanted to deny that it was repetition. It was necessary to the literary elusiveness of my style.
Oh. You can see that the audience are utterly with you, Geraldine, but I'm afraid, in fairness, I feel I must give it to Clement Freud, who has another point. He has the subject. He has 38 seconds. Beans, Clement Freud, starting now.
Haricot, flageolet, green, and runner are the more common types of this vegetable to be found in the shops. during the year. But they also come in tomato sauce in tins, heavily...
Kenneth Williams.
Hesitation.
Yes, I
Hesitated.
definitely agree, yes. And, can you discourse on beans for 23 seconds starting now?
I know very little about beans, the vegetable, but I must say I've had a lot of pleasure from watching those things that jump up and down. Men sell them in the street. You must have seen them. They jump up and down. They're very gaily coloured.
Geraldine Jones, why do you challenge?
Repetition.
Repetition, yes.
What was repeated?
Jump.
You repeated your little jumps up and down in the street, Kenneth. And it was almost becoming embarrassing, so we will continue with Geraldine Jones on beans, starting now.
I particularly hate beans because as a small child, my name, which is Geraldine, used to be shortened to Jelly and sometimes Jelly Bean. And as I was rather a round little girl, not to say fat, I used to...
Clement Freud, you challenged.
Deviation from the truth. She still is around.
Do I uphold your challenge, or are you asking me to be ungallant and say that I agree? I refuse to be. On this particular occasion, Geraldine, you've gained an extra point because you are not as that description of Clement Freud. So you gain one more point, and I'll tell you this. You have 1 second to continue the subject, so you might even gain another, and you start now.
Jelly beans are in
Clement Freud challenged again.
Hesitation.
She didn't hesitate, Clement. She has a third point, and she has half a second to start
In the
beats.
traditional...
Wait a minute, I haven't said... She's too keen now. She knows who's sitting on her left. Don't worry, I'll say now. Geraldine, half a second for beans, starting now.
Beans are confusing.
She's got to do another point. Well, with Clement Freud's ungallant challenges, Geraldine has now taken the lead with 6 points. Clement Freud has 4, and Kenneth has 1. But Kenneth, it is your turn to begin, and here's something I'm sure you can talk to us at great length about. But just a minute will do. It is making friends, and you start now.
I have made friends all over the place. I really have. I've made friends on park benches, and I've made friends on ships. And I think that's a very interesting way to make a friend on a ship, because then you get off the ship and you don't see them again, so you're not bored by them. Otherwise, you tend to be rather bored if you overdo the friendship at first. Like everything else, it needs rationing, you understand? What is friendship, one might always ask oneself? Well, I mean, you could say it's taking the chaff and the grain together and sifting it all out and with a breath of kindness blowing the unpleasant things away. On the other hand, of course, some friendships can become, as I say, a great bore, and this is largely because you overdo it from the start. It should be rationed, you see. Friendship should be rationed.
Clement Freud, yeah. Yes, he's back in the war, isn't he? He's on with his rations.
Yes.
You're not allowed to repeat anything.
Not as often as that.
Not as often. Not as often as that, as Clement said. No, Clement Freud, you have the subject, you have a point.
What is the subject?
I'll give it to you in a second.
Sorry.
I'm not going to give you too much help because you've played the game so often. You have 15 seconds for making friends, starting now.
Making friends with Kenneth Williams is a particularly rewarding occupation. You go up to him very quietly, preferably from the left-hand side, grip his fingers firmly in your hand, and say, "Dear Mr. Williams, I would like you..."
I challenged that. He repeated himself, didn't he? He said my name twice.
No, I think he called you Kenneth Williams and then Mr. Williams. He upgraded you. I have to listen very
Whose side you on?
Clement Freud has another point and 1 second left for the subject, so he might get another one if he's clever. Making friends, Clement, starting now.
Sir, I say to Kenneth Williams.
So Clement has just snatched the lead from Geraldine Jones, and Kenneth Williams is still trailing a little.
There's no need to rub it in.
I've got to say what's in front of me. The listeners like to know. I said you were trailing a little. I didn't say what you were trailing.
Made it sound very derogatory,
Very devious. Clement Freud, it is your turn to begin. The subject is writing books, and I'd like you to try and talk for just a minute, starting now.
Ideally, for this, you need a pen, but a pencil and a lot of paper will also suffice. You take the pen firmly in your right hand.
Kenneth Williams, you buzzed twice.
I didn't. I buzzed once. I
It
think
came
this
across...
lady here buzzed once. I don't know what grounds.
Well, what was your challenge, Kenneth?
Oh,
'Cause you got
deviation. There's nothing
What?
to do with the subject at all. We take the pen in your hand. I mean, this is just commenting on something so obvious it's banal, isn't it?
All I can say is, Kenneth, how would you start to write a book? Your expression has answered me. I'm afraid Clement Freud has another point. He has 50 seconds left for writing books, starting now.
Next, you need a plot, and ideally one which has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Kenneth, you challenge, why?
I challenge because it's entirely irrelevant. That's entirely untrue. You don't need a plot. You could write without a plot. You could write a whole ream of stuff without a plot.
Why do you challenge?
Many
him?
modern playwrights prove it, I think.
I will give you a bonus point for a very clever try, but I don't think within the context of the game it's a justified challenge, so the subject is still with Clement Freud, starting now.
Books, when they're written, ought to look impressive, so that when you go about starting the whole object, you want to put words neatly together, phrase up.
Geraldine Jones.
Hesitation.
I would say so, yes. I think he was beginning to hesitate a little way back. He has a very clever trick of running his delivery down as he... Anyway, 25 seconds, Geraldine. You have an extra point. You have the subject with you. Writing books, starting now.
Writing books is really an alternative phrase for being on the dole or unemployed. People who say they're writing books are usually writing books because they have...
Clement Freud.
She's written 3 books.
I hate to take it away from you, Geraldine, but Clement Freud, you have another point. You have the subject. You have 16 seconds, and you start now.
Perhaps the most important thing is to find a publisher, because otherwise writing a book becomes entirely pointless as a venture. The man...
Kenneth Williams.
Hesitation.
Yes, I
Hesitated
think-
after the word venture. It was a long hesitation.
Yeah. You haven't spoken for a long time, have you, Kenneth?
No, exactly, yes. I thought it was high
You're
time
new to
I
the game, aren't
asserted
you?
myself.
Yes.
I mean, you going on about me trailing behind.
Well, let's hope you won't trail so much now. And writing books, Kenneth, have you thought about the subject having asserted yourself?
I have...
Right. Well, you have 8 seconds, and you start now.
I have written every day of my life for the last 15 years. I venture to suggest that it might make an interesting book. I don't know, mind you, whether anyone would dare.
No, the bell went before the challenge, and so that means you have an extra point.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Well, Kenneth isn't trailing quite so much behind now. He is catching up Geraldine Jones, who is a little way behind Clement Freud. And the next subject is with Geraldine Jones. It's your turn to begin, Geraldine. A nice subject for a pretty girl. Lipstick, but buying lipstick. That's the subject. And you begin now.
The gentlemen players of this game, if such there be, may look upon buying a lipstick as a fairly humdrum affair. I can assure them, however, that it is the most agonizing ordeal because it involves going into a large department store, going up to the great dragon at the cosmetics counter and facing her and saying, "I'd like to buy a lipstick." She immediately turns upon me and blinks a well-made-up eyelid at me and says, "What sort of lipstick would you like?" And I say, "Well, I thought the one I had on." And she says, "Oh, is Madam wearing a lipstick today?"
Clement Freud.
Hesitation.
Yes, I thought you were going to challenge on something else. We've had 4 lipsticks, you know, but still, there was a slight
I
hesitation,
thought it was
Clement.
lovely. I was all worked out. I was getting all worked out with this dragon and everything.
Oh,
Lovely,
dear
I
me.
thought.
Well, Clement Freud, the subject is with you. There are 29 seconds left for you to talk about buying a lipstick.
It should be
Starting
said
now.
straight away that the embarrassment suffered by Miss Jones when buying a lipstick is as nothing to mine when confronted by the dragon opposite the cosmetics counter when I ask for a petunia red, because it goes with the colour of my eyes.
Kenneth Williams.
I challenge that.
Why? Why?
Well, his eyes obviously don't go with petunia red.
So why do you challenge?
So it's inaccurate, it's dishonest, it's deviation.
It's deviation. That's the word I was searching
Yes,
for.
I'm sorry.
yes,
I meant to come round. I was coming round.
His petunia eyes, you feel, are devious. So Kenneth, you have an extra point. You have the subject. There are 12 seconds left for you to talk about buying a lipstick starting now.
I buy a lipstick very often, especially in the winter. It's not a coloured one, I admit, but it is stuff that you put on your lips and it stops the wind cracking them. Because if the lips crack open and you bleed, it's awful when you smile. Because you go, hello, and all blood.
Geraldine, I'm afraid the bell went before your challenge, so Kenneth has another point. He has almost caught you up, but Clement Freud is still definitely in the lead. Kenneth Williams, it is your turn to begin this time.
Nice.
Something perhaps you've got some personal experience about? The bank manager. I'm giving you a time to think about it because you're new, and if you'd like to talk for just a minute, starting now.
I went to see the bank manager recently about this business of tax reserve certificates because I said to him, I don't want to have the money there earning interest. I've got to pay interest on a gain, do I? I'll buy these certificates and I get 3.5% and it's tax-free, isn't it? And he said, yes, that's absolutely true. And I said, well, that's marvellous because with that money I can do with a new suite because I could. The springs of my chairs are coming right through. It's not very comfortable to sit on. So I went along and asked about this and he said, yes, you could. And I said, well, the money will be useful to me afterwards. And he said, but wait a minute, you can't use it. I said, what? He said, no, the interest you earn has to go to pay more tax another year. I was furious. I think the whole thing's a great con, don't you? I mean, they say tax-free. You think naturally you can keep it, don't you, the earnings? And you can't keep it at all. Because it turns out they put it aside and use it for another...
Why do you challenge?
He's deviated from the bank manager.
Yes, a long, long time ago, I would say. But
absolute right. I deny that. I deny that. Absolutely. It's absolutely cogent. It's cogent
yes,
to my point.
And if you go on much longer, you'll probably make the audience laugh again.
Oh, no. I'm trying to play... I'm trying to play... I'm a sincere person, Nicholas. I'm trying to play sincerely.
You've been very sincere,
I mean,
but you
also... She's done a fraudulent
also...
trick there. She played a fraudulent trick on me.
Mr. Williams, you may be very sincere, but Geraldine's gained a point. She's gained the subject. She has 9 seconds for the bank manager starting now.
I have a perfectly super relationship with my bank manager, which is...
That's indecent. We're not... Wasteful, wasn't it? No need for filth, I guess.
All right, what do you challenge on? The subject, what of the three things? It's...
Deviation,
yes,
of course. Worst kind of deviation.
Yes.
Kenneth, I think it is probably justified within the rules of the game what Geraldine just said. But as it was a clever challenge, I will give you a bonus point. All right?
Yes, thank you.
But Geraldine still has the subject.
Oh, she's still...
Yes. Yeah. And she has 6 seconds left for the bank manager starting now.
It's based on the totally erroneous assumption by him that one of these days I'm going to make an enormous
Clement Freud.
Deviation.
Why?
4 seconds without any mention of the subject.
Brilliant. As in brilliant, it's true.
But if she'd mentioned the subject, you'd have had it for repetition. No, I'm still with Geraldine Jones, who has another point. She has 2 seconds left for the bank manager, and she starts now.
The bank manager thinks that I'm going to make an enormous amount of money.
Geraldine, you're only 1 point behind Clement Freud now, and Kenneth Williams is 4 points behind Clement Freud. So you've taken out a cigarette. You're getting a bit tense, are you?
Oh, yes. I'm throbbing here, I really am.
Clement Freud, it is your turn to begin. The subject is traffic jams. Can you speak for just a minute, please, starting now?
A traffic jam is generally caused by a lot of cars and a shortage of road. This you can see particularly in the early mornings or the late evenings in the metropolitan rather than urban areas of this country. A particularly unpleasant traffic jam in which I once found myself had in front of me 3 cyclists, while behind me was a car of indeterminate make in which a man had fallen asleep under...
Kenneth Williams,
My challenge is deviation. We were discussing traffic jams, not men falling asleep.
This man had fallen asleep in a traffic jam. I feel it's entirely justified. Clement Freud is another point. He still has the subject. 29 seconds. Continue now.
I sounded my horn, which I understand is an offence in a traffic jam, and a policeman came up to me and said, "Yeah, you sounded..."
It's Geraldine Jones.
Hesitation.
Yes, yes. The
I was
policeman
waiting
may
for
have
you to sound your
hesitated.
horn.
And you can't get out of it by saying the policeman hesitated when he spoke to me. So, Geraldine, you have a point. You have 20 seconds left for the subject of traffic jams, and you start now.
Traffic jams should be part of Girl Guide's teaching because they enable you to prove how much patience and goodwill you have towards the other people on the road. If you can survive in a traffic jam without losing your temper, I think you must make a jolly good Girl Guide or even a jolly good Boy Scout. Traffic jams, for me...
Clement Freud.
3 traffic jams, 2 Girl Guides. Repetition.
Yes. But just the traffic jams will do. We don't want the Girl Guides and the Boy Scouts. Anyway, there we are, Clement. You have another point. You have 3 seconds left for the subject of traffic jams, and you start now.
On the Exeter bypass during the summer weekends, you will find...
Well, as you were speaking as the bell went, Clement, you now have another point. You still have a lead of... You've increased your lead to 3 over Geraldine, with Kenneth a little way behind. Kenneth, it's your turn to start. A subject which, no doubt, someone with your horticultural background, thinking of the artifacts and all those things, can discourse on at great length, but just a minute will do. Puffballs. Starting now.
Well, I don't see what their knowledge of botany's got to do with it. Puffballs, as everybody knows, is a breakfast food. Puffballs, you pour the milk on them and they make these funny noises, and they're also delicious. They've got this sort of honey stuff coated on the outside of them, and they crunch in your mouth, because they're puffed up, of course, and naturally when you crunch them, you disturb...
Geraldine.
Repetition of crunching all the time.
No, I'd bet you had it for hesitation, but I don't think there's any repetition. Was there a repetition of crunching? Did you think, ladies and gentlemen, there was a
repetition of crunching?
No. Kenneth, you still have the subject. You've got the audience with you as well, I can see that. You have another point. You have 7 seconds left for puffballs starting now.
Well, these puffballs are very nice, as I say, if you like all that crunching and the noises in the morning. But personally, I try to steer clear of it because I think that a cup of coffee is quite enough to begin the day.
Geraldine.
Deviation from puffballs to breakfast habits.
Well, I think these particular puffballs of Kenneth Williams can certainly give you strange breakfast habits. Kenneth, I'm still with you.
Oh?
Yes, you're going to get... You don't want it.
Well, yes.
Well, you've got it. Puffballs starting now.
Yes, well, there are other kinds of puffballs, of course. I mean, we all know about...
Clement Freud. Hesitation. Yes, puffballs, Clement Freud. 21 seconds left, starting now.
Botanically speaking, these are white, fluffy, cotton wool...
Kenneth Williams.
They're not white, fluffy cotton wool, botanically speaking.
Clement, would you like to justify what you're going to say?
Yes, I would. Botanically speaking, they are white, fluffy, cotton...
You can't do that.
Kenneth, you cannot challenge on a challenge. Take your finger off your buzzer and let Clement Freud finish his sentence. See if he can justify it. Clement, yes. Botanically speaking.
They are white, circular globules of fluff, which are called fluff balls.
I thought they were called puffballs.
Of course they are.
Also known as puffballs.
That's it.
And on any summer's afternoon...
All right, I'm only asking you to justify it. I agree with you. Kenneth's challenge was unjustified. You have another point. You have the subject of 16 seconds. Don't look like that, Kenneth, because it honestly won't get you a point. 16 seconds left for puffballs, Clement, starting now.
One of the most uplifting things about puffballs is that you can take them in your hand and blow gently down the palm of your hand towards the tips of your fingers. And these...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation. Nothing to do with puffballs, whether you're blowing them down your fingers.
All right, Kenneth, I'll give the subject back to you then. And you have 7 seconds left for puffballs, starting now.
Well, of course, it falls to me to right this terrible wrong. I mean, they are not white, fluffy things that he's talking about. They look like a toad.
Well, that last terrific burst of speed from Kenneth Williams on the back of his puffballs brought him right up, equal with Geraldine Jones. They are both second. But anyway, the winner is definitely Clement Freud. The
chairman of Just a Minute was Nicholas Parsons. The programme was devised by Ian Messiter and produced by David Hatch.
We present Kenneth Williams, Nicholas Parsons, and Geraldine Jones in Just a Minute. And as the minute waltz fades away, here to tell you about it is this week's chairman, Clement Freud.
Thank you for that tumultuous reception. I'm here surrounded by buzzers and stopwatches and Nicholas Parsons. And I also have a list of unlikely subjects for the panel to talk about for 60 seconds each, without pausing, without going off the subject, and without repetition. In other words, keep going, stick to the point, don't repeat yourself. Kenneth Williams, will you talk for 1 minute on making an entrance, starting now?
Well, as the poet has it, all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And that is absolutely true. We come into this world naked. Indeed, we come into it quite naked. And after that, we've got to make entrances in a different way. We can't come in naked, obviously.
Nicholas Parsons.
Well, there was repetition of his nakedness.
Yes, that's...
And I would say that Kenneth Williams...
Don't spoil it for yourself.
All right.
You have a point. You are making an entrance. You have 37 seconds starting now.
Well, I'm delighted to think that I have 37 seconds starting now in which to make a...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation.
You're absolutely right because I made a mistake. He had 47 seconds. It was deviation.
Oh!
Kenneth Williams.
Wait till I'm back on the channel chair again.
You have 39 seconds making an entrance starting now.
There are two kinds...
Nicholas Parsons.
Deviation, because you said 37 seconds before and you said 39 now. So if it was wrong for me, it is also deviation for Kenneth.
You're talking nonsense, Kenneth. No points awarded, but you have the subject back.
Thank you. There's the entrance, of course, on the stage, and there's the entrance in private life, at a cocktail party or something like that. And I think all of us agree that when we do make an entrance, our initial...
Nicholas Parsons.
3 entrances, repetition.
Yes. Nicholas Parsons, you have 28 seconds, making an entrance starting now.
Well, I'm delighted to think that this time I have 28...
Again and again.
Yes, he
Again.
keeps on about
Delighted.
it. He
I've only
keeps
been
on being
delighted
delighted.
twice.
He's throbbing with it.
Geraldine Jones, you have a point.
Ridiculous.
Kenneth Williams, will you stop throbbing? Making an entrance, 25 seconds starting now.
When you're making an entrance, whether it's in a brick wall or at a gathering, you have to remember what materials you have. It's no use making an entrance in a stunning black dress if you're going to be going to a party where...
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
Hesitation is right.
Yes.
You have 13 seconds starting now.
I'm horrified to think that I have...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation, whether it's horrified or not, is not the point. I mean, we discussed...
Nicholas Parsons, you have 3 seconds in which to justify.
I'm horrified to think you want me to speak for 13 seconds about making an entrance.
I think Kenneth Williams has a very good point indeed. And you have 8 seconds making an entrance starting now.
Making an entrance means that...
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition. He's made so many
right.
entrances already.
Right.
Yes.
6 seconds making an entrance now.
I don't really wish to speak about this subject.
If he doesn't wish to speak about it, why start?
Under what general heading was that complaint?
Eh?
Under what general?
There's deviation.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'll give you a deviation.
May
You have the
I
subject.
justify myself, Sherman?
Not again.
May
3
I-
seconds starting now.
I once made an entrance as Nefertiti, and it was fabulous. They all went raving when I came in as Nefertiti, and it was actually not. I had this crepe hat on me, and it was really fantastic.
Nicholas Parsons,
Well, he said entrance again. He's already said it about 7 times.
you have the subject for 1 second starting now.
I will speak about making an entrance.
It's disgraceful.
You reluctantly get a point because you were talking when the buzzer went. Nicholas Parsons has the next subject. Will you speak for 1 minute, please, on the Parsons nose? Starting now.
It is very curious that you should ask me to speak about Parsons' nose. I feel that probably I have a special reason for talking about this particular subject. Of course, many of you may not know that the derivation of this particular phrase arose from the Scottish MacNose clan. They, of course, deviated from the established Church of Scotland, and when they drifted south, being clerics, of course, they adopted the Parsons. They dropped the Mac and kept the nose. This is, of course, the derivation of Parsons' nose, as, of course, I know only too well.
Geraldine Jones.
Repetition.
Of what?
Of derivation. He explained this before he started.
Yes, that's true. He also said, of course, 5 times. Geraldine Jones, you have the Parsons nose for 25 seconds, starting now.
It's very difficult for me to talk about this because, situated as we are, Nicholas Parsons is to the left of me and I can't really speak into the microphone at the same time as I look at his nose. Fortunately, it's made such a vivid impression upon my memory that I can talk about it without actually looking at it. It's perhaps not...
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
I'm afraid, yes. Hesitation. You have it back, your own nose, for 8 seconds.
Which came first, the curate or the egg? Now, of course, those of you who know the answer to this very simple riddle know that...
Geraldine Jones.
Deviation.
I couldn't agree more. Deviation. Parsons nose, 2 seconds, starting now.
It's perhaps not a terribly memorable nose.
Geraldine gets an extra point because she was talking when the bell went for the minute. Geraldine, you have the next subject. Will you speak for 1 minute on the subject of trunks, starting now?
Trunks are without doubt the most provocative and charming part of the clothes of any young male elephant. It doesn't really matter whether the trunk is pink or grey. It has that look about it that distinguishes elephants from all the other horrible big animals and makes you somehow think they're rather sweet and nice. Why is it that everyone likes elephants? It's because they have super trunks.
We've had 3 elephants and 4 trunks. Repetition.
And you have 1 trunk, and you have 40 seconds, starting now.
Some people have referred to Parsons' nose as a trunk. This, of course, is completely untrue. The trunks are really more in the enlightened way of thinking about this, the trunks that you see on people when they are swimming. When you see someone go splash into the water and he comes out without his trunks, we all shout,
Geraldine Jones.
Lots of trunks.
Roughly the same number of trunks. You have a point. You have 21 seconds. Trunks starting now.
All the expression in an elephant's face is concentrated in his trunk. When he's happy, it waves up in the air. When he's sad, it sags listlessly downwards.
Kenneth Williams.
Hesitation.
It's a very minor hesitation. All right. You haven't spoken for a while.
Thank you.
11 seconds on trunks starting now.
Some people, and indeed I've seen them, they take as much as 24 pieces of luggage on a holiday. But the most important piece of luggage for a long holiday is, of course, your trunk. You've got to have a large, capacious trunk in which you can stuff every...
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition of trunks.
You have 1 second to go on trunks starting now.
When it is...
Hesitation. Hesitation.
I thought a definite hesitation. Kenneth Williams is completely right. You have 0.8 of a second starting now.
Definite hesitation.
I never got it out!
Nicholas Parsons starting now.
Trunks!
Nicholas Parsons has an extra point because the bell rang. Kenneth Williams, you have the next subject. Will you speak for 1 minute on keeping pets? Starting now.
Sorry, I was challenging myself. That's ridiculous, isn't it? Keeping pets. Well, I once had this goldfish, and it just went round and round in this bowl, and I got very fond of it, you know, but all this stuff started creeping all over it, a sort of hazy, misty stuff, and I took it to this bloke, and he said, oh, yes, well, it means that you've had impure water in the tank, and so what I suggest is you take it out and scrape it all off. And I thought, oh, I don't want to hold it in my hand and actually scrape it all off.
Nicholas Parsons.
All very devious. But he also was repeating the scraping in the hand.
I don't really agree. I was fascinated.
I was revolted, actually.
Kenneth Williams, another point, and you have 47 seconds starting now.
Yes, so I gave up the goldfish, you see, and I buried it. I did a nice little plaque over the top, but that was neither here nor there.
Geraldine Jones.
You can't keep a dead pet. So it's deviation.
I would have thought this is exactly the way to keep a pet. Kenneth Williams, you have another point. You have 30 seconds, starting now.
So I moved on, kept another pet instead, you see, and this pet was a hamster. Now, hamsters are very curious things because they need an awful lot of warmth, you know. They do need warmth, you see. So I had it in a box behind the lavatory.
Repetition.
Of warmth. You have the subject. You have 17 seconds starting now.
Keeping pets is something I never, ever want to do. Occasionally, I've stayed at houses where people...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation, we're discussing keeping pets, not what she doesn't want to do.
No.
What if she don't want to do
Geraldine
it?
Jones, you have another point. You have 13 seconds starting now.
I'm absolutely convinced that the only people who keep pets are lunatics.
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition, she's been keeping pets since 3 times.
I think I'm going to make a ruling here. The interruptions are coming so fast and furious, each person may repeat the subject once without being buzzed by the others for repetition. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Right, 8 seconds. Geraldine Jones. No points given to anyone for that. Starting now.
The whole house revolves around this business, and it's always terribly uncomfortable for any visitors. You have to be careful where you go. You have to bear in mind that some of your dinner goes to the dog.
Geraldine gets a point for speaking when the bell goes. Nicholas, you have the next subject, which is getting bubbles into soda water. Will you speak for 1 minute, starting now?
Anybody who's ever tried to get a bubble into soda water will know it's a very difficult process. First of all, you must, of course, have your water. It's essential to get some bubbles in it because that gives you the essential psst. And if you haven't got any psst coming out, you know very well.
Kenneth Williams.
Repetition.
No, only a single repetition.
If you don't have this particular noise occurring when you press the handle of your soda siphon, you will know that your whiskey or whatever else you are topping up will not have quite the same flavour as if you didn't have that psst noise. This is, of course, very difficult if you have got the particular...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation, what's all this got to do with pressing your siphon? What's it got to do with getting the bubbles in the water?
Quite right.
Thank you.
Deviation is right. You have a point. You have the subject. You have 25 seconds starting now.
Everyone knows the bubbles are put in by these monks who blow it in. They're famous for it. The monks of Buckfast Abbey blow the air into...
Nicholas Parsons.
I hated to stop him, but I think there was hesitation.
There was hesitation. You have the subject back. Getting bubbles into soda water starting now.
As everybody knows, the monks of Belfast do not blow the bubbles in...
I didn't say Belfast.
nobody said.
You
that-
did. I never said
I
you
said
did.
Buckfast.
But I never said you said it. I was talking about the monks of Belfast.
We don't penalise for deafness. You have the subject back. You have under a quarter of a minute, starting now.
When I was last in Buckfast, I was talking to a chap who knows a great deal about this subject, and he said to me, "Fruits are the greatest reader, fruity seeders are the soda fruit and cider eating are, the priest and the soda fruit and so you do."
Geraldine Jones.
I can't understand it, but it sounds awfully repetitive.
No. Nick, start now.
Anybody who knows our delightful English dialects will know this is a very simple thing. It means that you must have bubbles.
Kenneth Williams.
What have dialects got to do with bubbles in the water? It's deviation, and you know it, Clement. Now, come on.
You have 1 point, and you have 1 second to go on getting bubbles into soda water, starting now.
As I said before, you blow them in.
The challenge was too late. The point goes to Kenneth Williams. The score now is Nicholas Parsons still in the lead. Closely followed by Kenneth Williams, who is 2 points behind, some way in front of Geraldine Jones, who is lying third. But has the next subject, which is hesitation. And in this subject, you do not use the indefinite article a. So will you speak for 1 minute on hesitation without using the indefinite article a, starting now.
The important thing to remember about hesitation is that it's a tremendously valuable asset. Anyone who...
It is very tremendously
Quite right, you have a
asset.
point, you have the subject, you have 53 seconds, starting now.
Just think how difficult it is to play this game when you have two people sitting beside you with buzzers in their hand, their fingers ready to press them at the slightest deviation, hesitation.
Geraldine Jones.
Hesitation.
Yes. Geraldine Jones, you have a point, you have the subject, hesitation, 33 seconds to go, starting now.
Everything that is enjoyable is made more enjoyable by hesitation. Things which are not enjoyable are made...
Kenneth Williams.
Enjoyable we had twice.
Repetition?
Yes, quite.
Right, you have a point, you have the subject, starting now.
Hesitation, as the poet says, he who hesitates is lost. And of course this remains a fundamental.
Geraldine Jones.
are fundamental.
Quite right. You have a point, you have the subject.
Oh,
20 seconds to go, starting now. Starting now.
If you like doing something, it's much nicer if you pause before you start doing it. If you don't like it, you pause and then you put off doing it.
Nicholas Barton.
He was doing it an awful lot. Repetition.
I thought she was doing it once too often. You have the subject. You have 8 seconds to go, starting now.
Hesitation is a subject which Kenneth Williams, when he plays to the audience here and gets laughs which the listeners know nothing about, will only...
Nicholas, you have another point and a commanding lead. And Kenneth Williams, you have the next subject, which is my favorite meal, which we would like you to talk about for 1 minute without using the personal pronoun I. My favorite meal without using the word I.
Impossible,
starting
Kenneth Williams.
now.
Well, there's your boiled beef and carrots, of course, which is a staple of the Cockney diet. Then, of course, there's your liver and bacon. Then, of course, for me...
Nicholas, Geraldine Jones.
We haven't got to his favourite meal yet. Deviation.
I think I'll ask the audience. Now, let's do it simultaneously. If you think Geraldine Jones is right, will you cheer? If you think Kenneth Williams is right, will you boo? Now! Kenneth Williams is right. Start now.
Then after that you have your steak and kidney pudding. This is absolutely delicious, but it must be taken fresh from the oven. It's no good having it hotted up. That's no good.
Geraldine Jones.
I insist this isn't about my favourite meal. It's about food in general.
I think you're right. You have the subject. You have 37 seconds to go. My favorite meal without using the word I, starting now.
My favourite meal changes from time to time.
Kenneth Williams.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's a daft statement, isn't it? I mean, how can your favourite meal change? You can't have a favourite meal.
Wait.
Geraldine Jones, you have a point.
You didn't let me
keep
wait,
the subject.
did you, dear?
Stop it, Kenneth Williams. Geraldine Jones, my favourite meal, starting now.
The essence of such a thing is that you don't always have it, that it changes.
I think I ought to tell listeners that that was really the nastiest bit of intimidation.
I think she was hesitating, but I think it was very unfair, and I'd like to give the point that I know I'm going to win for this back to Geraldine Jones and the subject.
I will... Geraldine Jones, you have a point, and you have the subject. You have 29 seconds, starting now.
My favourite meal must be eaten in the company of such gallant gentlemen as Nicholas Parsons, who give me points that I don't really deserve. When I say that it changes, I mean that if you go on eating the same thing over and over again, it ceases to be favourite.
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition over and over again is definite repetition.
I would have been more impressed if you had said, she said the word I.
Oh, yes, she said that as well, but I thought...
Geraldine Jones, you have a point, you have the subject.
I was sorry
you
to
have
say,
15 seconds to go, starting now.
It always changes because you get so sick of the same thing.
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
Yes, right.
Right.
You have the subject, 10 seconds to go, starting now.
I don't know what this subject is, but I will...
Geraldine Jones.
I.
You have a point. My favourite meal, starting now.
Sometimes it's steak, sometimes it's salmon, sometimes...
Nicholas Parsons.
Sometimes, 3 times. Repetition.
A point, 5 seconds to go, starting now.
My favourite meal is a conglomeration of dishes which go on the table with such precision.
At the latter end of the scale, Geraldine Jones and Kenneth Williams are now even. Unfortunately, 7 points behind Nicholas Parsons, who has the next subject, the best way of entertaining friends without using the word the. The best way of entertaining friends, starting now.
Best way of entertaining friends. It's impossible to talk about this subject. It begins with this definite article.
Geraldine Jones, you challenged.
Hesitation.
You have a point. You also have the best way of entertaining friends, starting now.
You must always bear in mind what your friends like doing. This is undoubtedly inadvisable when...
Inadvisable?
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
Right. You have the subject, starting now.
When I'm entertaining my friends, my first thought is to ask Clement Freud to come round to dinner. Or...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation.
No. Nicholas Parsons, you have another point, and you keep the subject.
I also like to ask Kenneth Williams, in spite of the fact that...
Geraldine Jones.
The.
You're right, you have a point, you have the subject. You have 37 seconds, starting now.
Too many people, when entertaining friends, think only of themselves, and this leads to a number of awfully boring evenings. I've sat through innumerable such events.
Hesitation.
Reluctantly, yes. You have a point. You have the subject, starting now.
My favourite guest to entertain is Geraldine Jones. She is the most
Geraldine Jones.
Modesty impels me to say hesitation.
You have the subject, now.
Entertainment is often a very boring affair, which is quite the opposite of...
Kenneth Williams.
We had boring before. She's already done that. She said she sat through all these boring eves. Now we're off again on boring.
Yes, she did. You have a point. You have the subject. You have 18 seconds, starting now.
Entertaining. Well, of course, you come into the room and you...
Geraldine Jones.
The room.
Oh, I
Right,
didn't
right.
realise that.
Geraldine Jones, 14 seconds to go. The best way of entertaining friends, starting now.
When people try to entertain friends deliberately, they always fail. You have to let people do what they want. This is invariably a very good...
Nicholas Parsons.
Well, hesitation.
Yes,
but
you're
all
right. You have
people-
the subject, starting now.
When you have Clement Freud in your kitchen and he refuses to cook, the best thing is to twist his arm.
You said we.
But you didn't challenge.
Nicholas Parsons said the. Kenneth Williams looked at him, but didn't press his buzzer, so Nicholas Parsons has another point. And is now in a commanding lead. But Geraldine Jones is second and Kenneth Williams is last. Geraldine, your subject. Will you talk for 1 minute on bowling, starting now?
This is a terribly technical subject which I know nothing about. When I was at school, we had to play cricket, and part of learning to play this game involved learning how to bowl. It always involved such an enormous expenditure of effort, not just running, but wheeling around with your arms as well, that I decided very early on I would never, ever learn to bowl. Other people, I believe, do. Occasionally, my father forces me to watch cricket on television as part of widening my educational horizons. When I do, I always find it terribly boring, and particularly the part where the man bowls. It takes such a dreadfully...
Nicholas
That's
Barton.
the third bowl we've had. Actually, there were four, I think, but definitely. Bowling Christ, when she talked about bowling at school
Very ungallant.
and bowling. No, she let it go for a very long time.
Yes, don't go on.
You're such a hard man, as Kenneth said.
Nicholas Barton, you lose a point
My
for...
God, he is.
You lose a point for repeating yourself on the challenge.
Yes, he loses it. He loses it.
But you get the subject, bowling. You have 35 seconds to go, starting now.
Bowling is, of course, a gentle, lovely game. Upon the green swards of England, you will see these delightful elderly people with their little rolled-up mats railing down on one knee and tossing the ball gently across the green sward until it comes up against the little white pill the other end. Sometimes they say, "Yeah, it's your turn, Mabel. You see if you can beat that one because I bowled a good one. See if you can do it better."
It's brilliant. Oh, it was brilliant. Very good.
I like the bit about Mabel.
Commendable point won by Nicholas Parsons on bowling. That is it. And Nicholas Parsons wins with 33 points, for which I think he deserves a small modicum of applause.
I don't. I think it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. All cheating.
Geraldine Jones, who was my own particular selection, as many of you must have noticed, came second with 25 points. And Kenneth Williams came last. Goodbye.
The chairman of Just a Minute this week was Clement Freud. The programme was devised by Ian Messiter and produced by David Hatch.
Present Kenneth Williams, Nicholas Parsons and Clement Freud in Just a Minute. And as the minute waltz fades away, here to tell you about it in the chair this week is Geraldine Jones.
Well, thank you. Here I am, surrounded by buzzers and stopwatches and a lot of rules which I'll explain as we go along. I also have a list of unlikely subjects for the panel to talk about for 60 seconds each without pausing or going off the subject or repeating themselves. In other words, they have to keep going, stick to the point, and not say anything twice. The first round begins with Kenneth Williams. Will you please talk for 1 minute on how to eat macaroni delicately and without cutting it, starting now?
Macaroni, this is a wheaten paste. I think it's important that we define the thing. It's a wheaten paste squeezed into a sort of tube-like shape, and the best way is to take it on your fork and to twist it so that the whole thing is eventually bunched, so to speak, on the end of the fork, and then you convey it to your mouth. In this way, of course, you...
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
Yes, terribly informative, but I think he was hesitating. So Nicholas Parsons gains a point and has 33 seconds on how to eat macaroni, etc., starting now.
Well, the art of doing this, of course, is something which has been lost to the younger generation. Brought up on op and populance, they...
Clement Freud.
Deviation.
In what way?
Hasn't mentioned macaroni. Decorously innocent. Could have been talking about frying spaghetti instead of eating macaroni.
Fair enough. Clement Freud has 25 seconds on how to eat macaroni, starting now.
Ideally, you get a fork in your left hand and a spoon in your right hand. You get hold of this former implement, pierce the macaroni...
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
No, I don't think he
No
was.
sense of the theatre, has he? Have you noticed?
I think you have to make
No,
allowances
Philip.
for natural slowness of speech. Clement Freud gets another point and has 14 seconds, starting now.
And so, having got the macaroni in the spoon, you twist your...
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition of macaroni.
Yes, all right. Nicholas Parsons, you have a point and 12 seconds, starting now.
The famous Italian chef, Signor Gunta Panciato, once said to me, when you get to your macaroni, you got to stuff it right up the shoulder spot. You got to get the round part, because if you don't get it round or smooth, you don't get that twisty thing. You got to have the twisty, because that is so lovely.
Fine. Well, at the end of the first round, Nicholas Parsons is just leading from Clement Freud, and Kenneth Williams so far hasn't any points at all. Now, Nicholas Parsons' turn. Will you please talk for 1 minute on mumbo jumbo, starting now?
Mumbo, jumbo, jabberwocky, come, thing, this is how. Now, well, I thought come along the branch and step out along the rail. I thought it was, no, you come there, and if what gives the gifty give us now, I saw it come. And then again, some people say this and some say that, but what would you? Ha ha, not I. But then there is a point which says, come now, is it him, is it him, is it they, is it Williams, is it Freud? No, but come, this is a point. And so we step forth, we take our hands, we cup them together, we look up and we look down, because there is a way around. I thought perhaps this was it, and you said no, and
Clement Freud.
I didn't understand it.
Which rule was he breaking?
He repeated mumbo jumbo.
What does the audience think? If you think that Clement Freud is right and Nicholas Parsons was repeating himself, will you cheer? If you think Clement Freud was wrong, will you boo? All now. Well, I'm afraid the audience is very much with Nicholas Parsons, who gains a point and has 12 seconds left, starting now. Clement Freud. Clement Freud.
Hesitation.
Yes. Virtuoso as Nicholas Parsons is, I think he did hesitate there. Clement Freud has 11 and a half seconds on mumbo jumbo, starting now.
That's it.
hesitation.
Yes, such gallantry between you is very perturbing. Nicholas Parsons, you have another point and 9.5 seconds, starting now.
Mumbo Jumbo was a very happy little elephant, and as he walked down to the river one day, his daddy said to him, "Come along, little boy."
Well, at the end of that round, it's Nicholas Parsons way in the lead, Clement Freud second, and Kenneth Williams still very much behind.
Don't keep rubbing it in.
I say no more than the truth. Clement Freud, it's your turn now. Will you talk, please, for 1 minute on getting out of jail, starting now?
The most important thing about this subject is to get into jail in the first place, in order that you can start on this exercise. I would like to commend to listeners a number of useful ways of getting into jail. One of them would be to attack Nicholas Parsons with a blunt instrument. This would cover a multitude of useful causes, like removing the enemy.
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
It was indeed hesitation. 31 seconds on getting out of jail, starting now.
In order to get out of jail successfully, you must first read the small print in your contract. It usually goes something like this. Subsection...
Kenneth Williams.
Well, hesitation, but certainly deviation as well, because we're supposed to be discussing getting out of jail, not your contract. Let's face it.
I think you're right.
Yes.
It did seem a bit devious. Kenneth Williams now breaks spectacularly into the game and has 21 seconds to talk about getting out of jail, starting now.
The first thing, obviously, to do is to get hold of a very good lawyer. That's the first thing to do. Then, on the other hand, if you can't get hold of a very good lawyer, then you want to get a rope ladder and a file. You can smuggle in nail files in loaves of bread. I know that goes on because I've read all these books about it. And then you saw through bars and lower your... Oh, thank you.
We start a new round now with Kenneth Williams. Will you talk, please, for 1 minute on hocus pocus, starting now?
Hocus pocus. Well, this is a very interesting word, hocus pocus. It is derived, of course, from the term hax, pax, max, deus, something, add something or other.
Nicholas Parsons.
I haven't finished.
I hate to do it, but I do think you were hesitating, Kenneth.
Yes, I'm
A
sure.
lovely bit.
I'm sure great things were to come, but too
Yes.
slowly. So Nicholas Parsons gains a point and has 22 and a half seconds left on hocus pocus, starting now.
Hocus Pocus, of course, was the chief leader of the witches in the Little Gnome story. And one day, as they were going down into the forest, there was a great big gnome there who said, "Come along, children, let us go this way." And the tree...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation. Nothing to do with hocus pocus. Just a fairy story, that was. Deviation.
Yes, I happen to be very knowledgeable about hocus pocus, and I agree with you, Kenneth Williams. So you gain a point and
should
have
recognise our-
28 seconds, starting now.
Yes, as I say, it was derived from this term, which meant rather the equivalent of when you say today a magic phrase like abracadabra or something like that. It really means, hocus pocus, to take someone on to,
Nicholas Parsons. Nicholas Parsons.
hesitating again.
Yes, you really are ruthless, but you gain another point.
Well, I let him say it twice before I pressed.
That's still ruthless when he's losing so sadly.
Oh, I'll do it.
you
Well,
have...
let him have it back. I'll give that point to Kenneth and let him go on.
No, we don't want you showing off with magnanimity. You have...
It's something I never do in public, Geraldine.
You have 11 seconds on hocus pocus, starting now.
Well, as I was saying about the children as they went into the forest, they said they were going to cast a spell. It was a real hocus-pocus type of spell, which would bring all the elves out of the trees and the little squirrels running down the branches. Of course...
Clement Freud. Clement Freud.
It was boring.
I think from the applause that the audience agrees with you. Yes, fair enough. A new rule has been born. You have only 1 second left, starting now.
I won't...
And Clement Freud just got that point for ending on the bell. The score now, still Nicholas Parsons in the lead, Clement Freud next, and Kenneth Williams third. Nicholas Parsons' turn. Will you please talk for 1 minute on my most miserable moment, starting now?
My most miserable moment was probably when I was asked to be on the panel of Just a Minute. I had been extremely happy being chairman of this game. I didn't realize how difficult and how impossible it was, and to me it was a miserable time of my life. I have endeavored to overcome and come back again to conquer this particular moment in my time. And I hope that successfully I may have done it, because to speak without hesitation...
Clement Freud.
Deviation. He hasn't done it.
Yes. Does the audience agree that it was a bit of waffle? If you do, cheer. And if you don't, boo. If you... Well, the audience thinks Nicholas Parsons was waffling. Clement Freud gets a point and has... You've got it right. 34 seconds on his most miserable moment, starting now.
It happened at 11:15 on the 18th of August, 1944. I was filling sandbags at number 28 Netherhill Gardens, Crowthorne in Berkshire, which is in the southwest of England. When this moment suddenly came up, the telephone rang. I picked up the receiver and said, "Hello, this is Crowthorne."
Nicholas Parsons.
That's even more boring than what I said.
I think, in fact, that it sounded utterly miserable, and probably because it was so miserable, it was boring. Clement Freud gains another point and has 5 seconds starting now.
I said Crowthorne 489653167, and the...
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition of numbers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7.
No, they were all different numbers, so Clement Freud gets another point.
Open favouritism.
And has 2 seconds left, starting now.
And the woman said, "I think you've got the wrong number."
Well, after my impartial chairing, Nicholas Parsons and Clement Freud are now level, and Kenneth Williams is in second place.
That's nice.
Don't worry, she'll favour you this time.
Yes.
It's now Clement Freud's turn to talk for 1 minute, please, on disposing of orange pips, starting now.
These are definitely the best colour pips of which to dispose. I have tried to dispose of many other coloured pips without success, and so I'll confine myself in this brief talk to the subject on the card. The best...
Kenneth Williams.
Hesitation.
Yes.
Yes, I think it was hesitation. A point to Kenneth Williams. You have 43... You have 43 seconds on disposing of orange pips, starting now.
Well, of course, there are various ways of disposing of orange pips. I have seen some people just spit them out at passers-by. You know, actually, some people can spit them out with such velocity that they are capable of hitting people as they pass by. I've seen them get it right in the eye, an orange pip. On the other hand, some people surreptitiously sort of get them into the hand and then sort of glide away somewhere. You don't really know where it's all going. It might be on the floor, for all you know. And others, of course, put them into spoons and lower them onto the plate. Some people have a bit of paper into which they put them. But on the whole, I think the whole business of... I didn't repeat there, it was just...
Nicholas Parsons.
Hesitation.
No.
Yes, I think he was beginning to run down a bit. Nicholas Parsons...
You sound like a bit of clockwork.
Nicholas Parsons gets a point and has 6 seconds on disposing of orange pips, starting now.
The best way to dispose of an orange pip is to put it into the ground, and within a short space of time, the fermentation process will take... Oh.
Kenneth Williams, it's your turn now. Would you talk for 1 minute, please, on being measured for a suit? But you have to talk on this subject without saying to spelt T-O, to spelt T-double-O, and to spelt T-W-O. So no twos are allowed. Being measured for a suit, starting now.
Well, being measured for a suit can be an extremely luxurious experience. There is a nice feeling, I think, when people say, well, now, just stand here, just slip off the jacket, I'll just measure you across the shoulders, I'll measure underarm, measure your waist. Of course, that time it's a bit much because you suddenly realize that you have put it on a bit, perhaps, you see, and that's not very nice. I say, oh, hello, it was 30 last time, 31 here. I have to lay off the starch, I think, and the port, lay off the wines and all that sort of thing. That can be very embarrassing indeed. I haven't said to yet, I don't think.
Clement Freud.
2.
Yes, he did. He challenged you to challenge him. So Clement Freud gains a point and has 21 seconds starting now.
Et tu, Brute.
Nicholas Parsons. Nicholas Parsons.
He used 2 words.
No, that's not allowed.
He said 2.
No,
Yes, but I specified, you see, how the 2 was to be spelt. And
yes, but it wasn't that 2. I know Clement Freud. He doesn't speak Latin normally.
Well, I know that he does, and even if he doesn't, the Latin is correctly spelled T-U. My education has at last been of some use to me. And so Clement Freud gains another point and still has 19 seconds starting now.
The tailor takes his tape and runs down my inside thigh measurements, which he does with tremendous ability. 31, he shouts, then 33. He then goes to my waist.
Nicholas Parsons.
To my waist.
Well done.
Yes, you're right. You have 1 point and 7 seconds on being measured for a suit starting now.
Being measured for a suit is one of the luxurious things of life.
Clement Freud.
Hesitation.
Yes, he was fumbling a bit, I think.
Yes, he was definitely fumbling.
Miss Lady Chairman.
Madam Chairman.
May I say, you're so charming and so understanding and so kind to people. I was born with an impediment. I do have a difficulty with my speech. I managed to conquer in my youth a very difficult stutter, and luxurious has always been one of the most difficult words.
Well, in saying I was charming, etc., you were saying no more than the truth, but I'm not really very sympathetic to people with impediments in their speech.
I realise that.
Clement Freud has a point and
She's hard.
2 seconds left, starting now.
My waist measurement is...
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition, he used the word waste before.
No, I'm going to give it to Clement Freud. He has 1 second left, starting now.
chest.
Well, at the end of that round, Clement Freud has made a staggering leap to the first place. Nicholas Parsons is in second, and Kenneth Williams, alas, still in third. Nicholas Parsons, it's your turn now. Will you talk for 1 minute, please, on how to open a bazaar without saying the word "the," starting now?
Opening a bazaar is a bizarre experience. The whole point is...
Clement Freud.
The whole point.
Yes, he did. You have 55 seconds on how to open a bazaar, starting now.
Ladies and gentlemen who have come unto my garden this afternoon, I welcome you all most sincerely from a deep down part.
Nicholas Parsons.
He's getting so slow, you know, it's obvious hesitation. You can't...
I agree, you don't need to argue it. I'm surprised you didn't interrupt sooner.
Well, I was afraid of being penalised.
You gain... I'm always fair. You gain 1 point. How to open a bazaar, starting now.
You take occasion which is, after all, the thought of...
Clement Freud.
The thought.
Yes, unfortunately for Nicholas Parsons, Clement Freud gains a point and has 25 seconds, starting now.
My Lord Mayor, you chaps over there, gentlemen...
Kenneth Williams.
Deviation. Lord Mayors aren't at bazaars. That's ludicrous.
Well, I suppose very posh bazaars, maybe not in general. Kenneth Williams gains a point and has 19 seconds to talk about how to open a bazaar without using the word "the," starting now.
You get up and you say something which is reasonably funny to open your speech, and then you cut the ribbon and...
Clement Freud.
The ribbon.
Yes, I'm afraid so. You have gained a point. You've gained a point and you have 9 seconds, starting now.
Any old ribbon and any pair of scissors will do this job handsomely. Ideally, it should be conducted by someone wearing a bright...
Clement Freud gained another point for finishing on the bell, and he's now substantially in the lead from Nicholas Parsons and Kenneth Williams in third place. Now, Kenneth Williams' turn. Will you talk, please, for 1 minute on the sport I least enjoy, starting now?
Well, that's not very difficult for me because I don't really enjoy any of them. And I think it's very significant that the real brains of this world are not to be found rushing about on a football field chasing something that's got a lot of air in it and a bit of rubber. I don't think you'll find them there, no. And it's said by some people that sport's a very good thing because it's supposed to get rid of a lot of aggressive instincts. And I think that's a load of rubbish too, because it's been consistently proved time and time again that the only way you get rid of such instincts is by the guilt. Guilt. You have to have guilt.
Nicholas Parsons.
Repetition of guilt and again.
Yes, all right.
But I was using it in the sense of gold.
No, I don't think I can accept that. Nicholas Parsons gains a point and has 26 seconds on the sport I least enjoy, starting now.
The sport I least enjoy is playing Just a Minute. It is considered to be a sport among some because those who play it in such an unsporting fashion.
Clement Freud.
3 sports.
Yes.
Which is a fair definition of the team, but is repetition.
Absolutely. Clement Freud gains a point and has 17 seconds, starting now.
Basketball is the one I least enjoy because it is intensely boring. 46 men of indeterminate ages line up on either side of a white line.
Nicholas Parsons.
It's getting slower and slower, and so it must be hesitation.
No, I think he was keeping going, actually. There.
Yes, but slower.
No.
And slower.
Hesitation is more than speaking slowly, especially when you naturally speak as slowly as Clement Freud. So Clement Freud gains a point and has 3 seconds left, starting now.
And the left back passes the right back, who passes the centre forward.
Nicholas Parsons.
Out of his own mouth, he proved himself by speaking not like Clement Freud. So it must be deviation. If he normally speaks slower, that is deviation to speak like that.
Yes, Nicholas Parsons gets a point for cleverness, but not for knowing the rules of the game. And Clement Freud still has 2 seconds, starting now.
Who passes the centre forward?
Nicholas
He
Parsons.
passed in his last speech.
Fair enough. Nicholas Parsons, you gain a point and have half a second, starting now. Well, the scores are still Clement Freud in the lead, Nicholas Parsons very close behind him, and Kenneth Williams third. Nicholas Parsons, it's your turn now to talk, please, on what to do when sleep is impossible. For 1 minute, starting now.
The best thing to do when sleep is impossible is to wake up. Having woken up, you want to think of all the most wonderful things that you possibly can. Like, for instance, those wonderful trips abroad. The last time I was in Paris, I couldn't sleep at all, so I got up, I went downstairs, I met a charming Frenchman. He said, "Quand je t'appelle, ils sont comme là-bas. Pour ta fille, on doit se sleep. Sleep also ta fille, quand je t'appelle, oui." Which, as everybody
Clement
knows,
Freud.
means when you cannot sleep...
Clement
the
Freud
best
has
thing-
interrupted. Why were you interrupting?
Forgotten. It was a very long time ago. Repetition.
Yes,
In
all right.
French.
Clement Freud, you gain a point and have 38 seconds, starting now.
You lie awake and you count the pillars in your bedroom, and then you count the overmantels.
Kenneth Williams.
Hesitation.
Yes, I agree. Very hesitant. Kenneth Williams, you have 32 seconds on what to do when sleep is impossible, starting now.
When you can't sleep, the best thing to do is to have a ceremony. There is no question at all about that. You have a ceremony. You get up and you make yourself a pot of tea, read on a little cloth on the tray, have your little cups and saucers and the milk and sugar all ready, and then convey it to the bedroom on the side table. That's very nice then, because you don't feel it's all dreadful and that you can't sleep. You've suddenly made a little ceremony, you see, and you look out the window and you see all the traffic going along the road, and you think, what are those people doing? Where are they going to at this time of night, too?
And that, I'm afraid, is where we must leave it, because Just a Minute has to be off the air in just a minute.
Well, then don't mention the marks, dear.
But I have time, alas, to Kenneth Williams's undying shame, to mention that in this game, Clement Freud won with a substantial lead over Nicholas Parsons in second place, and Kenneth Williams, alas, in third place. Goodbye.
In the chair for this week's Just a Minute was Geraldine Jones. The programme was devised by Ian Messiter and produced by David Hatch.